same person who cuts the check from Prudential Insurance for the NBA is the same person who cuts the check for Prudential Insurance for the WNBA. How is it that this individual can look at these two leagues, only see a third difference between the audience, and they're not cutting the third check? I don't understand. What's going on with these owners that they have these teams who are bringing in a third of the revenue of the NBA, at least when it comes to audience size, but aren't paying their players at a third rate as the WNBA players?
Mm-hmm.
People not watching WNBA, BeMo. That's not true. That's not true. There are more people watching the WNBA than saw the Flash. I tell you that. There are more people who are watching WNBA than watched Secret Invasion. I tell you that. But somehow these two evaluate at two different levels. I just wanted to bring that out. I just want to give you some revolutionary math. Sweetheart, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't understand why there's such a large divide between pay. Because, and then if your argument is, oh, it's not as popular, they're not putting as much money into,
Yeah,
right.
That's true.
Yeah.
The WNBA is 1/3 the size, the audience size of the NBA, and they are not putting the money into promoting the WNBA in the same way.
Right.
It sounds like resilience to me. Those are just my thoughts, though. We got any comments?
No. I mean, good vibe Travis said Denver, but yeah. No.
You said what?
Denver, but that was about what team won.
True.
Yeah.
And good morning, Good Vibe Drive.
Good morning.
Got some folks over on Instagram. Good morning, District Bloke. How you doing, brother? He said good morning to you.
Good morning.
He said good morning to you. We appreciate that. Maurice is on the line.
Hey, Maurice.
Paul Rose didn't go to week from 2 weeks ago. Oh, damn it! I forgot something. I gotta send you something, sweetheart. I'm supposed to be promoting the thing that we're doing on Saturday.
Yeah.
You remember?
No, I forgot until just now.
Okay. I will do that. I'll send you the image during the break. Yeah, I mean, if we ain't got no comments, that's all I really had to say on that, though.
All right.
Oh, you know what, though?
What's up?
Excuse me. Because we are a solution-based podcast, I do have a solution.
Okay.
I do have an idea, and I want to know from the people and from you, lady of the house, if you think my solution is worth a damn. So here's what I think, right? I saw a clip a while ago. It was Draymond Green. He was talking to WNBA Hall of Famer and legend Lisa Leslie, and Lisa Leslie was saying that the NBA could support the WNBA more. And Draymond Green called an attitude because he was like, we are the people who are supporting the WNBA the most.
Yeah.
And I don't know what he meant by that, but from Lisa Leslie's comments, even while he was talking about, well, if y'all support it so much, maybe you could pass the plate around.
Yeah.
I don't know if the support that NBA players are showing to WNBA players is in the form of finances. And why? I believe that NBA players believe that they were to donate to another league. If they were to give money to another league, it needs to be yielded in ownership. They often say that the WNBA is the ownership gateway drug for NBA players into professional sports, right? So I had a revolutionary idea after I had this revolutionary math, right? Mm-hmm. So if you're an NBA player, as we just described with Jaylen Brown Brown's new contract is he's making $60.8 million per year for the next 5 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
And if he were to get paid in WNBA money, he'd be making that $0.8 million that year. So my radical suggestion is, I think all NBA players should donate their WNBA salary to the WNBA, whilst shaming and naming the sponsors and owners responsible for this gender pay gap within the two leagues. Jaylen Brown had a press conference when he signed his highest NBA contract in history. He had a press conference in which he said, with this much money, I feel like it's responsible for me to start building generational wealth, to start getting rid of some of these systemic problems that are happening in society. Lauryn Hill said in the video, she said, we know what the solutions are, but do we want to solve them?
Mm-hmm.
If only $0.8 million out of every year that Jaylen Brown is going back towards the WNBA, that could pay for like 4 of the highest paid players in the WNBA. Or increase the highest paid player's salary to $1 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
If the NBA players did this while naming and shaming the people who are supposed to be monetizing on a corporate level of this league, if they did that, I think they can see that more as a protest rather than a business move. And I think through time, I think through the Martin Luther King way, we can see some change. What are your thoughts?
I think it's a good idea. Yeah, because it would be a protest, since it's kind of like, why are the coaches not doing, or not the coaches, the owners doing what we're doing?
Yeah.
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 And it's not like you're giving up your whole salary. You're only giving up a fraction.
You're giving up you're giving up 2% of your salary.
Right. And we were saying that's like a fine.
It's like a fine.
Right.
You cussed 2 times to get a technical. You'd have gave that up.
Right.
Why not throw that to the WNBA?
Right. And it's also showing solidarity with the WNBA. So,
It is.
Yeah.
It is. It is. That's just my thoughts. I have a Chris on Instagram says, solution, we need more WNBA groupies. I, for one, am ready to lead the charge. You know who's a great WNBA groupie who don't talk about it much?
Who?
Yogi.
Never would have guessed.
Yogi I stay seeing him with like WNBA paraphernalia.
Wow.
It's like, way to put your money where your mouth is.
All right.
Chris, I agree. We do need more WNBA groupies. I'm on my way. I'm trying to get into the league. You know what I need to get in the league though? And as I'm seeing this year, I need some names to attach on. You know what I mean? I need a superstar like Aja Smith to be like, oh wow, she out here shooting buckets. She out here averaging 15 assists a game. That's crazy. That's the type of thing that I need.
Yeah.
And I'm on the way. But even as I'm on the way, I still can't get the math out of my head that it's already 1/3 the audience size of the NBA and it's getting 2% of the value.
Yeah.
So let's say we double the audience size, in which now is half the NBA size. Are we going to get half compensation for these basketball players? No.
All right.
No. We have to do something to make this revolutionary chasm more visible.
Yeah.
More visible. So yeah, those are my thoughts. You got any comments now? No comments?
No.
All right, that's cool. All right, so yeah, let's do this. It's 8:23. Let's take a quick break. We're gonna play Tone Shade by Michael Robinson featuring Tashira. We'll be right back with more. Who way you make we it be? Mo, if you're on Instagram, I'm gonna go ahead and let you go. Come on over to YouTube. Follow me on YouTube. It is BeMo, and hit the link in the bio to come follow us and see the rest of the show. We got some great topics we're going to talk about. And make sure you come over so you can see the video of Michael Robinson and Tashira. All right? I'll see y'all later. I will be right back with more Wake and Bake with BeMo.
Baby, can we? Oh, baby, please. Down on my knees, but I ain't begging, baby. I'm just trying to change. Mind over matter. I'll be the best. for a little while.
Okay.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Who Wake and Bake With BeMo. We are right here on YouTube and Twitter and Facebook. We are here. Good morning to all the good people. It's good to see you. We just finished our opening topic in which we talked about some revolutionary math, this gender gap that is happening between the WNBA and the NBA. I just logged off of Instagram, which I have to follow my own advice. Remember, sweetheart, that the solution to these insight-based moments of insecurity is abundance. We got to keep creating. We got to keep pushing. We got to keep moving forward, right?
Yeah.
It don't matter that yesterday the reel that I put up got liked by only 3 people. It don't matter. There's only 2 people on Instagram this morning. It don't really matter this morning. We are focused on the next step because at the end of the day, Wake and Bake with BeMo was cool, but it is not the final solution, right? It's not the end all be all the things that we're trying to do. This is just the beginning of many conversations. But as we continue, we have a couple more things we want to talk about this morning. Lady of the House, there's 2 things I want to talk about, and I'm wondering in which order we should do them. We got to talk about the soft launch of slavery, but we also got to talk about Bomani Jones. What you think?
Well, I don't know what the Bomani Jones topic is, so what you think?
No, I'm depending 100% on you.
I don't know. We can go with Bomani, I guess.
All right, let's start with the Bomani. I think it might feed into the second conversation, so into the slavery conversation. If not, we'll just push it again to the following week. So I'm gonna light this blunt first, sweetheart, so we could talk about my hero, Bomani Jones. All right. The people just watch me pick a piece of dandruff right out of my head. That's crazy. I got to have more couth on the screen. As I'm lighting the blunt, I want to manifest me getting a radio show and also my own late night show. We call it Blunt Magic. You feel me?
What now?
If I light the blunt and say my manifestations at the same time, they'll come true, right?
Blunt Magic? Is that what you
Blunt
said?
Magic.
Right.
No? No good?
I'm with it.
You got it? I don't want to upset the spiritual girls, though. You know what I'm saying? I don't want them coming after me. Telling them spirit told them to come get my ass. I don't want that. I don't want that. No. All right, sweetheart. So this conversation is actually part of a larger conversation. But my hero, son of Mac Jones. Mac Jones is basically the black man who created black political science. A man who I studied in undergrad, like religiously. I even called him to get his insight on a couple of things as I was writing a paper. And I remember I recorded the conversation and put that recording in my bibliography. And my political science advisors at the time said that you can't use revolutionary or innovative technology to do research. Mm-hmm. That's how old I am. You couldn't even use tape recordings.
Wow, that's crazy.
You couldn't use tape recordings without being frowned at. Now I'm wondering how students are using YouTube to write like research papers. I'm very curious. And I hope with the better resources that we have at your fingertips, the students are writing better research papers. But as I'm looking at writing, what happened to the period? And I don't mean women claiming periods. I mean, what happened to the grammatical thing, the period? Right? I had a clip a while ago. It's like, what does grammar have to do with communication? If I can't understand what you're communicating, a lot. A lot, my nigga. Anyway, Mac Jones has a son, Bomani Jones. Bomani Jones, in the last month, has had 2 terrible things happen to him. His television show on HBO called Game Theory has been canceled because of low ratings. And his contract with ESPN, in which he had the 2nd highest rated podcast on ESPN, is not being renewed. Dang. He lost 2 jobs. And I'm saying this is part of a larger conversation because at the same time, I'm also witnessing other black intellectuals who are not in black exclusive spaces being excused from their positions. It's a trend that I'm noticing from my trend analysis days that has actually got me a little discouraged, but I kind of know why. In 2020, when we do that thing at the gift shop, was it 2021?
2021.
In 2021, there was a study that came out that after the Chauvin trial, white sentiment towards black problems dropped drastically. And the analysis from this report is that white people thought the job was done. We got the dude arrested. Police brutality is solved. The issues between the systemic state and black folks is no longer a thing. We're good. So white sentiment dropped. And as white sentiment dropped, white propaganda rose. I mean, white supremacist white propaganda was on the rise almost at the same rate. And so as I think about these chief diversity officers, these people who were given DEI positions in white corporations, even as I think about smart black folks at white institutions, Bomani Jones losing their positions, I'm wondering if this is part of that further indication that white interest in black problems has dropped significantly.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning that our allyship, those who would consider supporting blackness, is going by the wayside because those white folks even believe the job is done. Ooh. I'm spicy this morning. Those folks believe that the job is done. And so I'm noticing that trend and I'm concerned because I too was a black body doing black work for white organizations and I was excused. Mm-hmm. So that's one problem. The second output of that problem is the question that Karen Hunter asked, which is television getting dumber?
Yeah. Is
it getting more stupid? In which my answer is Brent Faiyaz. Huh? What? Is television getting more stupid? My answer is Brent Faiyaz. So this had to be 2 or 3 years ago. Had to be 3 years ago because we were here. We here 3 years ago?
Yeah, unfortunately.
We were here 3 years ago. And there was this Brent Faiyaz song that I loved. Right? And I sent it to my homegirl at the time. And she said, yeah, it's a groove. But have you noticed that Brent Faiyaz can't sing? Mm-hmm. And so as I'm grooving along in the shower with him one day, I stopped singing, stopped dancing, stopped moving, and I just listened to the vocal tonation of Brent Faiyaz. I'm listening to different tracks. I'm listening to how he's layering his voice as a former musician. I know what good music sounds like. And it becomes painfully aware to me that Brent Faiyaz can't sing. And don't be offended. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying he can't sing because he's untalented. I'm saying he can't sing because he doesn't have the vocal talent that I'm used to be impressed by. But he can hold a note, you know what I'm saying? He can create a groove. So I had a hypothesis in the shower. I was like, is Brent Faiyaz only good because people are singing along with him, whether it be in their head or out loud, and the notes that they are imagining in their head singing are actually the notes that Brent Faiyaz is missing? I know it sounds so shady, but to me, it is almost a genius way to trick people into thinking that you're good is to be at a skill level so close to normal that most people feel like that you're talented because they can also do it. Right? If I can do it, he must be talented. And in this internet age of engagement, I feel like that is more important than being actually talented. Can you replicate the skills of other people? Can you meet most demographics in context so that they believe that they are geniuses and they want to continue watching off of some self-fulfilling prophecy? Mm-hmm. So to the question of, is television getting stupid? My answer is Brent Faiyaz. I don't know if television has gotten less talented, if the people who are working television aren't as smart. But what I do know is that TV is trying to reach the same standard of thought as the average generic person. And as you and I know, people are stupid.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that disrespectfully. I mean that individuals are smart, but people are stupid. There's something about separating an individual and put them into a group think that makes them a little more dumb, makes her a little more stupid. So if we're talking about Bomani Jones, sweetheart, I don't know if you've been paying attention as I was watching, and I don't like to talk about sports because I feel like sports can be divisive. But there's a conversation happening within the sports media world, not new media and old media, but basically stupid journalism and journalism. The Skip Baylesses, the Stephen A. Smiths of the world have turned sports journalism into a constant debate in which the purpose of the journalism is to win an argument. Mm-hmm. You can see it on the sports shows. Again, I hate to talk about sports because it's so divisive, but you can see it on the sports shows when analysts are defending their picks, defending their predictions, making sound arguments rather than doing the journalism of sport.
Right.
And so with the end of Bomani Jones, who you and I listened to Bomani Jones, and we'll get to that in a second, the end of Bomani Jones does not do debate.
No.
Bomani Jones does journalism. He expounds, he delivers the news, he delivers perspective. That's Bomani Jones. Mm-hmm. Stephen A. Smith, he's debating. You're right, I'm wrong. I'm wrong, you're right. Mm-hmm. I was right this whole time, my prediction was wrong. My prediction was wrong this whole time, but I was right. Whatever the fuck it was. Yeah. But the problem with that, sweetheart, is debate is entertaining. I'm a debater. Mm-hmm. The internet has shown us in a very literal and metaphorical sense, white negativity is more positive, is more engaging than black positivity. Right. White negativity, literally the color white and negativity are more engaging than the color black and positivity on these social media platforms, on internet culture. Mm-hmm. So if I'm Disney and I own ESPN, what do I want? Do I want smart television that can be divisive and alienate people, or do I want stupid television that meets people in their context so that I can make the most money? And the answer, sweetheart, is in the letting go of Bomani Jones. It's in the firing of Jalen Rose. It is in the promotion of Stephen A. Smith. That is the answer. But sweetheart, there's a third problem here.
Okay.
The first problem is smart black folks are being let go out of white spaces. Damn, that's fucked up. Could have seen that coming on. Second problem is TV getting stupid? Meaning, are the people who are producing television making more attempts to appeal to the masses who are stupid rather than the individual nuance who has the ability to discern between intellectual and non-intellectual? Mm-hmm. Here's the third problem, sweetheart. Bomani Jones is boring. You did not disagree. Bomani Jones is boring. And here's how I know. There is a joke in this house that if you want to put a lady in the house to sleep, play some Bomani Jones. When we're on the road trip and I put Bomani Jones on, lady house falls asleep. And it's not to say the lady house has bad taste. Bomani Jones is a monotoned academic.
And he's just talking to himself.
45 minutes of Bomani Jones talking to himself in a monotoned voice academically.
And also, it doesn't help that I don't really know what he's talking about because I don't know sports like that. So,
but we'll sit here and watch the First Things First YouTube show while I listen to First Things First, and you know what's going on. You know, Brew got a bud list. You know he 10 toes down. You learning players' names. Like, it's engaging, but it's also debate-ish. So we have a problem here, sweetheart. Because by boring, I find Bomani Jones very entertaining. But by boring, I mean reminiscent of the violent, monotoned, academic, and demystifying institution that is school. Bomani Jones reminds us of school.
I see that.
His father is one of the most prominent professors in the country, in the history of blackness. And as Lauryn Hill told us in the video that we watched last Thursday, matter of fact, play the video real quick. Cue it up. As Lauryn Hill said in this video, academics remind us of violence. That paper that I wrote that got published in Mississippi Valley State, that I went to the state and national science fair with, it got a B-. Now I'm published on the college level, but my teacher gave me a B-. Why? Because it's subjective. And school reminds us of the subjective violence that went towards us while we were in school. Mm-hmm. I'm not talking to you A students out there. I'm talking to all my B+ to D students out there. Something happened to us in school where we were disregarded, where we were felt like our voices didn't matter, or our opinion was misunderstood, where they said we were stupid. Nessa put up a post the other day saying that, like, when she was in school, she was terrible at math. And her math teacher made her feel like an idiot. Her math teacher said to her, you can't have a calculator with you every day. And now we literally carrying calculators in our pocket. So what was this confidence of stupidity around math all about to begin with? Nothing. So I think we have a twofold problem. And I think that problem is on this show, sweetheart. As I am trying to separate away from insight insecurity, I'm also trying to be honest about the performance of our show.
Okay.
Which is also the problem of a Bomani show, which is also the problem of a chief diversity officer, which is also the problem of a DEI analyst. All these individuals are steeped in blackness, from blackness, including myself, geared towards blackness, and now there has been a drastic drop of support for those institutions, for those individuals. I don't know what's going on, but I know that last year, the Black Podcast Awards had no problem getting their quota of applicants. This year, they extended the deadline.
Wow.
I know that this time last year, I had no problem making appeals on behalf of Black culture towards a major white institution. This year, not even close. Mm-hmm. How do we keep Black intellectualism at the forefront if it's being deemed boring and no longer useful by major institutions? And I ask that because I wonder if Black folks would have ever found Afro-surrealism if it wasn't for Atlanta. Thus FX. And I think FX is owned by Disney. Yeah. Would niggas have ever found Afro-surrealism if it wasn't for Random Acts of Flyness, which is on HBO, which is owned by Discovery? I wonder if Tyler Perry will put Afro-surrealism on BET Plus, because it's weird. And when I look at the YouTube clips, I have no idea what the ratings are. But when I look at the YouTube clips for I'm a Virgo, and still see they're in like the 90Ks. When I see the review clips for They Called Tyrone, and they're still in the 1000s.
That's crazy.
I don't know if it'll be as popular. I don't know if it'll get the ratings. And as we just talked about with the WNBA, you could be 1/3 the audience and get 2% of the evaluation. And that's not sustainable for a commercial institution like BET. So, we get back to the very pivotal question. In terms of black intellectualism, what if niggas is stupid? How is Bomani Jones supposed to cut through? Who I'm telling you, if you don't listen to Bomani Jones, his perspective is so great. And I don't mean that in like the opinion. I mean that in the volume of brilliance within one opinion. But it is objectively reminiscent of school. It is boring. So how does Bomani Jones cut through? How do we get Dr. Karen Hunter to be the mainstream conversation? How do we get Wake and Bake with BeMo in front of more people? I don't have an answer. I have no solutions. But the question hurts.
Yeah.
We got any comments? And pass me the light, sweetheart.
Drew says,
Drew, good morning.
good morning. Yeah, he said good morning. And then, hold on, let me pull it up. Okay. Television / all mainstream media absolutely is getting dumber. They have to put out material that appeals to as many people as possible, and the more a thing is complex, it's harder to sell. For black people, mainstream content pushed to us had to be dumbed down. The song Fight the Power was blasted during the LA riots because it promoted black people to fight against police. It's up to black institutions to promote black intellectualism. Black people can accept things, but we don't have the distribution power the mainstream does.
But I agree, 100%. I agree. And but the problem is that those institutions are still operating on the same metrics as other institutions.
True.
Those institutions are still operating on the same metrics as other institutions, meaning that like they operate on a rating system. So if Bomani Jones takes this show to UMC or to BET Plus, like if it's not rating, they gonna cancel it.
Right. He also said Disney hired Tyler Perry Studios to film Black Panther, and it's definitely possible Tyler Perry may distribute things he doesn't normally do. Hopefully, so long as it isn't destructive to black people.
I mean, we're gonna see. Sweetheart, what are your thoughts?
I'm thinking about. Okay, so you said TV is getting dumber.
TV is getting dumber.
I'm thinking. What's up?
Go ahead.
Well, I'm thinking it kind of, this isn't the reason, but it also has to do with relying on AI and like, other technologies to where, I mean, isn't that part of the strike in Hollywood right now? But I don't know. I feel like people aren't relying so much on their creativity as they used to in the past because there's the easy way out, that instant gratification. So
that's an interesting point.
Yeah.
To your point of the AI point, I don't know if it's like AI generated images that you were thinking of, but I was thinking like when I go on YouTube and I like go to make a new post, there's a tool that tells me what's the most trending topic and it suggests what type of videos I should make.
Yeah.
And crazy. I think people are falling into that algorithm, not even per se. They're falling into that algorithm to see success on these platforms. And I would have thought, this is why I feel like Black thought is so beautiful. And kind of the secondary point I'm trying to make about this Bomani Jones and even this situation, it's the Neil deGrasse Tyson point. It's like, if Bomani Jones is only looked at as the smart black sports journalist and not just the smart sports journalist who has black thoughts, then it's easier to get rid of his use.
Right.
Because they still have smart journalists at ESPN. And if one of those journalists had the second rated podcast on their network, they wouldn't be getting rid of them.
Right.
It'd be 30 for 30. It'd be over outside the line. It'd be whatever sports journalism centered things they have going on at ESPN.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I made that face to you though was, so I had thought when all these streaming services came out that it would be easier to make nuanced content for demographics because they wouldn't be dependent upon ratings. Meaning, if there are 100,000 people in the world who want to see Umbrella Academy, all 100,000 of those people are going to sign up for Netflix.
Yeah.
Versus there are 6 billion people in the world and we're going to make a generic superhero show so 200,000 people could watch. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So I had thought that. But that's me thinking in a way that decentralizes profit.
True.
I'm not thinking about, oh, we can make more money if 101,000 people watch Umbrella Academy.
Right.
I'm more so thinking, oh, 100,000 people want to see Umbrella Academy. Let's give it to those 100,000 people.
Right.
So that's, I don't know if Tyler Perry and his network can be able to operate like that. But the reason why I made that face was, it's like, the solution is probably even the more rudimentary version of the thing, which is probably radio and podcast.
That's crazy.
Because like Bomani Jones' podcast is not going anywhere. It's still his IP.
Yeah.
It's still his RSS feed.
Mm-hmm.
It's still gonna go well. Niggas is still listening to 4 hours of Joe Budden every week, which is crazy to me. People listening to this podcast, people still on radio, may not be like public radio, but people still doing the audio thing.
Yeah. Okay.
I wonder if that's what he meant by the revolution will not be televised. It might be on the radio. All right.
Also, another thing, when I was in school, they always told us that most journalism, newspapers, all of that is written on a 6th grade level because that's what the average American reads on.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's also a thing of people as a collective just aren't that smart. To your point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do we do? That don't solve the boring problem though.
It don't.
It don't solve the boring problem. I have a thought, but I'll save it for execution though.
And then Drew says, unfortunately, the dollar determines everything. I'd love for us to have I'm a Virgo and Lovecraft Country without having to choose one or the other.
Man.
Right.
In the radical BeMo network, I like to play this game. And the radical future of the BeMo network, I want to do a season finale for the Wayans brothers. And then I want to host all Wayans content.
Nice.
I want to do a series finale for Girlfriends. And I want to host and I want to restart the series as Golden Girls. Golden Girlfriends. That's what I want to do.
50s now.
Huh? Yeah.
You're right.
And it don't matter, like, our finances come from the people who are monetizing the content. It don't matter our viewership. Meaning, like, if 200,000 people paid $20 to watch it, that's the budget for the show. Sorry, Tracy, I can't pay you more than this. That's all the people want to see. All right. What time is it? Oh, it's 54.
I did get the artist talk scene.
You did?
Yeah.
All right. So we'll end on that and we'll come back on Thursday. We'll talk about the soft launch of slavery because the folks have started the construction, sweetheart.
Yeah.
I don't know if the people can hear it, but okay. Before we get to the burning question for the Roach, on Saturday, if you're in the area, 2 weeks ago, the Paul Robeson Negro of the Week, Maurice James Jr. Maurice is having a gallery artist talk for his Brain Trust exhibition that's happening at Art of Noise this Saturday here in DC. If you're in the area, come on through to the artist talk. Okay, it's hosted by me. We got a special guest. His name is what's that boy name? Buck. We got Buck, the special guest. We got it situated and operated like a late night television show. And sweetheart, you know that one of my dreams. Mm-hmm. I got 2 dreams in the television world, or 2 dreams in the entertainment world: an AM call-in radio show,
okay,
and a late night syndicated TV host. Those are the two things that I think I could do. They say you need to be a comedian to be a TV host, though.
Really?
As I say, most of them have been comedians, in exception for the two TV hosts that I like the most. One of them I can't remember his name. The other name is Jack Parr. They're both white dudes, in which they were not comedians. They were just talking, like a legit like late night talk show host.
That's interesting.
Jack Parr walked off his own show because the production was acting like assholes.
Yeah.
In the middle of the show, in 1950 something. That shit was crazy. Can you imagine the drama when you only had 3 stations in the 50 and the host walked off of one? Right. Crazy. Anyway, we got the Artist Talk coming up this Saturday. If you're in town, come out to the Art of Noise. It is on up the street in Northwest DC. Pull up. We're going to do a special conversation with my man Maurice. Ask him some very interesting questions about the establishment of the Black Trust and the future of his art, some of his secret weapons. We're going to talk to the community for a little while. I'm very excited to talk to Maurice. This is our second time having this Artist Talk, and I think it's going to be 3 times better than the first one. And the first one was damn good. All right? So come on out this Saturday to Art of Noise, to the Black Brain Trust Artist Talk. Maurice James Jr. Make sure you go check him out at Art for the Black Market on social media networks, or go to Art of Noise. That's noise with a Z, because you know how niggas do. Okay? Art of Noise with a Z on all social media. We'll see y'all on Saturday. Cool? Lady of the house, you know what time it is. It's time for the burning question for the road.
Okay, so what was the first thing we talked about?
The first thing we talked about was revolutionary math. This gender gap, this gender wage gap that's happening in the NBA versus the WNBA, and how I don't think people know how ridiculous it really is.
Yeah.
Because you know why? Because niggas see, and by niggas I mean all men, you know, what's the gender gap, like 85 cents to $1?
Yeah.
Niggas see 85 cents to $1 and like, that ain't bad. That ain't bad. I think if they realized it was 2 cents to the dollar, they'd be like, wait. 2 cents to the dollar?
That's wild.
That's wild. As somebody jumped in my DMs, show me your math. Let me see your math. Hold on. Hold on. I divide this. Okay, actually, BeMo is 2.3%, but that's wild.
Yeah.
Niggas really be like, oh, that's why we take women on dates, for that 15 cents. No, nigga. No. 2 cents on the dollar for the WNBA. Burning question. You gotta go quick.
I know. Well, you gave a solution for that. So, Lord, I can't even, okay.
Is it showing up in the sound?
Yeah.
Is it loud?
It's like middle green. That's crazy. So is the solution to, I guess, Black intellectualism and white fatigue, is it, going to radio and podcasts and things of that nature? Or like,
this ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna work. Well, y'all, the construction man came. Is the solution to Black intellectualism and white fatigue on radio and podcasts? No, I don't believe it is medium based.
Okay.
I think it is. Well, you know what? Dr. Karen Hunter said that her show is also not under the same metrics as these ratings. So,
true.
Yes.
Okay.
Niggas don't like rudimentary systems, but I truly believe the answers in the future to Black commerce are in rudimentary systems. White folks have left them. It's so interesting to see them in AI. It's so interesting to see them in Web3.
Yeah.
But because they have left rudimentary systems, we could dominate radio. When I heard that Netflix was losing money, I had this thought of like, niggas could dominate Netflix. Yeah. I'm seeing Tubi, like all these Black movies with bad special effects on Tubi, and they're calling that Black Nollywood. And I'm like, yes, because we love it. It don't matter. At the end of the day, The story good? Matter of fact, the story don't gotta be good. We watched the Tyler Perry plays.
Right.
He a billionaire.
He a billionaire.
We watched the Tyler Perry plays.
BET.
He just bought BET. Yes. The answer is yes.
Okay.
All we gotta do, but we cannot be disillusioned because of our assumed worth of these things, right? They have relabeled trailer parks into tiny homes.
Yeah.
It don't matter. It's still cheap, small housing.
Mm-hmm.
Tubi, yeah, it's free TV that comes on video, but nigga, you on TV and you getting paid. Okay? Cut that shit out.
I turned you up. It's okay.
You turned me up?
Yeah, I turned you up.
How you do that?
The audio input capture. And just turn it.
All right, then. I don't gotta yell.
You don't gotta yell. You
That's
are in
all
the
right,
red.
We finna go. We finna
Okay.
let y'all go because the construction folks is here. They started 2 minutes early this morning. We gonna let you go. Thank y'all for watching another episode of Wake Up Baby BeMo. If you want to see the instant replay, go over to YouTube right now. You can check it out on Twitter or on my Facebook as well. Thank you for listening to the podcast on Apple Podcasts and all Spotify podcasts and all the places you get your podcasts. We were unable to apply to the Black Podcast Awards this year because we took such a long break in between time that we didn't have the necessary episodes to be eligible for this year's awards. But we'll keep that in mind as we go on break for the next go around and our next break that's going to be coming up. I'm thinking what? I don't know. I'm not going to say it out loud. But thank y'all for listening right now. We're going to leave you with Black Boy Joy by Detroit Rivers. We'll see y'all soon on Thursday. Good morning. Good morning, lady of the house.
Good morning, sweetheart.
Hold on tight, don't let this feeling slip away. Your city, yeah, happy feelings. Frank and Beverly and Maine, don't be amazed. Find yourself, learn your joys and pains. Live your voice insane. The sounds of your heart, don't you worry about a thing. And don't forget your lyrics. This is a reminder of joy every time you hear it. Just to verify this joy. Smile, you can wear it contagious, won't you share it? Let love loose, don't fear it. Just that black boy joy.
Black boy joy up on your brain. Let this black boy joy give you some game. Black boy joy get up again. And black boy joy through all the pain. And black boy joy say it again. One more time, get this black boy joy up on your brain. Let this black boy joy give you some game. Black boy joy get up again. And black boy joy through all the pain. And black boy joy say it again. Where I was raised, black boys was being destroyed. I grew up a black boy, they had stole my joy. Nobody put on my neck, so I do it for Floyd. Do it for Tamir Rice and for the underemployed. For the ones that gave back, communicated, deployed. I wanna give you a rope so that you can aboard. I wanna give you a hope so that you can avoid having to be a black man without no black boy joy. So get this black boy joy up on your brain. Let this black boy joy give you some game. Black boy joy get up again. And black boy joy through all the pain. And black boy joy say it again. One more time, get this black boy joy up on your brain. Let this black boy joy give you some game. Black boy joy get up again. And black boy joy through all the pain. And black boy joy say it again. For us, it's easier to go to jail than to go to college. Rather us be entertainers than be getting knowledge. They funded our own genocide. The word is power. Killing niggas in every song. I think it's coward. Easier to act tough when you in doubt because the world incriminates us. Cause we in doubt. Are we afraid of our own kind? And it's really wild. I think they got us backwards. But I figured out it's easier to fit in than it is to stand out. So I'm black boy joy when I'm cruising around. And I'm black boy joy fresh hitting the town. And I'm black boy joy dancing cleaning the house. And I'm black boy joy when I go for a hike. Been black boy joy since I was riding a bike. My son black boy joy and that's crazy to me. I was miserable growing up, I really hated it, G. But the world is much bigger than I was able to see. So get this black boy joy up on your brain. Let this black boy joy give you some game. Black boy joy get up again. And black boy joy through all the pain. And black boy joy say it again. One more time, get this black boy joy up on your brain. Let this black boy joy give you some game. Black boy joy get up again. And black boy joy through all the pain. And black boy joy say it again. Smile.